job and you start doing what we trained to do. Otherwise, don't come back to this fucking corner.
Yeah. Ready? Yeah. How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. It's a lovely day outside, so we came outside, sat in the sun, and we're about to give you the post-fight review on GGG versus Rubio and Waters versus Donaire. Ade, two great knockouts.
Yeah, you know what? First, let's talk about GGG. Look, Macklin was supposed to be a test.
Yeah.
People might have not known this, but Rosado was also supposed to be a test. He was like mandatory for, at the time, I think K9's 154 title. Kind of forgot about that and went up for a GGG. Gil was supposed to be a test. Curtis Stevens, you told me, was supposed to be the chin checker.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a test. And finally, Rubio hadn't been stopped in 9 years. Was supposed to be a test. This guy, if this is test, then this guy obviously needs to take different exams because he's getting an A for every single test he's taken.
So tell you what I noticed about GGG, which is it's funny with punches. When people get knocked out, then they get knocked out on the floor. But when GG hits him with a punch, they all pull this face like, what the fuck was that?
Stevens was beautiful.
Yeah, Stevens, Gil does it. All of them had this shock of like, oh, this guy really hits that hard. They had this shock of disbelief, and Rubio done it. So as the uppercut came in, his eyes kind of popped out. He was like, wow, this guy just hit me, and I know I've been hit. Yeah. Rubio could dispute the stoppage and say he didn't have a chance. If you get up at 10, you're not in the fight. You had 10 seconds to get up. You didn't get up.
Yeah, so many people have done that recently. Like this 9, and I'm fine. We'll get up at 7.
No, you weren't fine. If you were fine, you would have got up.
Back up.
You waited till the last second to make a dispute about it. I've heard some people saying that Rubio's come for a payday. I don't believe he came for a payday. I just believe he got knocked out.
No, yeah, I agree. Look, why would Rubio come for a payday when he was in line for mandatory for Miguel Cotto's belt after?
Which in theory is an easier fight.
And it's more money. Miguel Cotto is more money than Gennady Golovkin. It's that simple. Only Pacquiao and Mayweather kind of get more money for fighting them, and Alvarez probably is getting to that stage as well. Boxers are made in the amateurs. Yeah, that's where you learn your kind of boxing technical fundamentals.
Yeah, you learn your craft.
Hopkins is probably the only person aside from that who didn't have a good amateur background. No amateur background really. Golovkin is scary because he's got that amateur background which we will know about, and that's probably one of the best amateur background fighters out there right now. But he's also got this spite and punching power that you don't create in the gym, and that's frightening.
What I've said previously about GGG, which I like about GGG, that he's patient. Similar to Kovalev, they're patient, they're methodical, they just cut you down, and their punches are smooth, their punches are effortless. This is a dangerous dude, and I don't want to go over the hype because Rubio is Rubio, but I think he's a legitimate threat to anyone. Without a doubt. I don't care if you're Andre Ward, I don't care if you're Chavez, you can't be knocked out. I don't care who the hell you are. If this guy lays gloves on you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I so echo that. Look, he is slowly becoming my favourite fighter. Everyone probably watched the videos, everyone will know I'm a Miguel Cotto fan because Miguel Cotto is almost like that person that gives you exciting fights, doesn't take a backward step, will fight anyone, similar to Bonaire Hopkins. GGG is now becoming my favourite fighter. Now, when everyone says Andre Ward will give him his test, and I agree with it, I think people were talking about Andre Ward 3 years ago. Yeah. As good as you are, you can't have the breaks Andre Ward has had and expect to get in the ring like Golovkin and school him. That's not happening.
Andre Ward ain't fought in over a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's had shoulder surgery and injuries. You have to be fair to the person and to the sport to say, guess what? You need to see what he's really got.
Yeah, right now, right this minute, GGG is the favourite because Andre Ward is not active.
Okay, to me, last one I'm going to say about GGG, to me, right now, Miguel Cotto is the lineal 160-pound champ. But to me, there's only one champion at 160, and that's GGG.
The scary thing is that they've mentioned, like, obviously he's now mandatory for Cotto, possibly Cotto Canelo. Canelo fights Cotto. Canelo does win, and you never know because Canelo's getting better. We kind of said the time to get Canelo was a year ago. Canelo's getting stronger and bigger at the weight. I don't see Canelo standing around the 160. I just feel like they're going to try the hardest to avoid him, whether it be voluntaries or not. They're going to avoid.
Canelo said a while ago that he's only going to make 154 for the big fights and for the titles, which means basically he's a 160 player. Yeah. I guarantee he will stay at 154 now. Yeah, because there's no point in going to 160. It's a situation you had when you have the dominant champion divisions where people just seem to avoid that division because they know what's out there. When you've got boxing ability and punching power like that, it is dangerous. Yeah,
we talked about Kovalev, we talked about Stevenson in terms of punching power, and people have been avoided. No one now is going to be more avoided than GGG. It's scary, and I don't see the point in fighting.
There might be one person who might be avoided just like GGG, and his name's Nicholas Waters.
Yes.
So Donaire was a pound-for-pound player. We both said he had slippage, but
I said he had slippage, and I said he still would eke out a decision. You said he'll get stopped late. as you expected. And when you said late, you kind of said 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
No one expected him to get knocked out in the 6th.
Yeah.
The thing about that fight as well that I was so impressed with Waters is that Waters got put pressure on by Donaire in the second, I think it was the second round. Donaire standing landed a few.
Buzzed hard at the end of the round.
Buzzed hard, and he's lucky the round didn't go on for another 30 seconds. But so for him to get buzzed and still come back in a championship fight in front of 9,000 to stop up, impressive.
So tell you what I liked about that fight as well, which showed me something about Waters, and showed something about Donaire as well, when people say that Donaire's not natural at the weight, whereas unless Donaire caught him with a flush clean punch, nothing seemed to bother him.
Yeah.
He was right in front of him, kind of laughing. He got hit and just kept walking and pressuring and pressuring and pressuring. Donaire showed that Waters still is raw technically in certain aspects. Yeah, because Donaire did get a few sweet combinations. Yeah. And if that was a bigger guy or a natural 126 person, that could have hurt Waters. But he just bounced right off him. And in my opinion, it was a close fight, but Waters was walking through him.
Yeah, Waters was walking through him. And I think that's what we said about moving up in weights like this. I mean, and look, these are guys that have the best nutritionalist, everything, the best everything. And we're talking about you moving up 5 pounds, 4 pounds. Remember, those lower weights, we're talking 4 or 5 pounds all the time. And he still couldn't carry his weight power up there.
Listen, when you weigh 122 pounds, 126 pounds, 130 pounds, 118 pounds, 5 pounds is huge.
Yeah, it is.
5 pounds is 3/4 of a stone basically. It's a huge weight to drop. It's a huge weight to put on. I think for a person of, say, me or your type of size, that's equivalent to the stone, putting a stone on.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
and putting a stone of muscle, or lean mass. Because it's not just muscle, because muscle carries weight and you don't want that much weight. The thing for Waters to me is, like you say, he got buzzed a couple of times in the fight, and Dair isn't a natural that weight. So it'd be good to see where Waters comes, where he fights someone that is legitimate at that weight, but then again he beat Darshinian, and Darshinian is legitimate at that weight.
See, the problem is, and I'm trying to say, like I said, you can always dish it out, but you got to give it as well. You can hit Waters, but you know he's going to hit back. Yeah. And what he hits back with right now is devastating. If you look at the shots that knocked Dair out, it was I think it was a left hook or right hook, and it hit him high on the head and the temple, but it actually kind of buckled Dair's whole body, where he actually flew out, flat out completely. Anyone watched the fight, from time he got hit, you knew he wasn't getting back up.
You
knew he wasn't getting back up. It weren't a chin shot, it weren't a temple shot, it weren't a shot you said you're disorientated. He hit him in a funny position and still knocked him out completely.
What Waters did, which was more impressive, and I give really props to his promoters, that sometimes you have to take this kind of fight. There's a lot of British fighters out there that you just want them to fight a marquee name, and that's what they've done. They've made it. It took Kell Brook how many years to get there? Donaire is a 5-weight world champion. Numerous world titles. I mean, he's only been embarrassed by Rigondeaux. That's the risk you've got to take, and now he's going to get all the rewards, and he deserves it. And hopefully, he gets a big fight next, and they don't just avoid him like you're saying they might avoid him.
Well, there we go. That was the fights last night.
Yeah, there you go. There's the fights tonight. Look, where did GG go? I don't know. Honestly, 160 pounds is going to be really tough for him.
Satori goes pound for pound list.
110%. You could argue now, honestly, top 5. I mean, if you got Bradley and Mark, he jumps over Bradley and Marquez for me easily. Pacquiao doesn't eke out a decision against Algieri, he jumps in front of Pacquiao. Because to me, pound for pound should be what you've done in the last 3 or 4 years. And the last 3 or 4 years, he's been avoided like the plague.
I think he can hold off Marquez, because Marquez got a history of level opposition. But I understand your point.
Yeah, Bradley definitely takes Bradley.
Take Bradley.
Look, guys, where does Waters go? Look, again, look, this is the risk. You take the fights, you win them. Like, what is it, in style? Nothing better than a knockout. Where does he go? Hopefully he goes for big fights as well. But guys, leave your comments below. What happens with GGG? What happens with Waters? Email us at
boxtalk@hotmail.co.uk, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at boxtalkuk.
And guys, thanks for subscribing, and check out our stuff as well on ringnews24.com. Guys, thanks a lot for watching this.